If there was one skill that could completely change your life around, it would be this. Everything, whether it's building the shredded physique, stacking your bank account with millions, or just being the life of the party, comes from action, and action comes from habit. You need to master the art of building and sticking to new habits. But here's the problem. If you're like me, you've watched countless videos, the 10 habits to change your life, the 5 habits of the super successful. You try these new habits, and about a week later, you're back on the couch, playing on your phone, watching TV, wasting your life away. You don't need another list of habits you'll never try. What you need is to understand the psychology behind why certain habits stick, but more importantly, how to use that psychology to hack your life for success. So here's my 3-step process anyone can follow to change their lives today. I want you to look at your life as being this ice tray, and each individual ice cube represents a habit that's ingrained into your life. The reason you've tried to build new habits but never seem to make them stick is because you don't have any more space to fit them in your life. This is what happens. There's only so many habits we can commit to at one time. And your life currently is full of habits you didn't even decide to build. Can you remember back when you first started brushing your teeth? Probably not. I don't think any of us remember weighing the pros and cons of brushing our teeth and thinking, yeah, this seems like a good habit to build. We were just told we had to do it. We listened and it became a habit. So what we need to do first is figure out what each individual ice cube in our own personal ice tray represents. What are the already established habits that are controlling your life in the background, and more specifically, what are the ones that aren't serving you? Some will be super obvious, like stopping off at the fast food place on your way home from work. Others will be smaller, almost hidden in your life. The best way to find deep ingrained habits that are hindering you is by just observing your life and finding what parts of it you dislike. Here's an example from my life. I often find myself lying on the couch at lunchtime watching YouTube for far longer than I'd like. The habit I have isn't watching YouTube on the couch, it's actually the habit of needing entertainment while I eat. We'll get into why that's an important distinction to make soon, but for now, understand that the only way you can start winning in life is by clearing up space in your ice tray so you can start to build the habits that'll benefit you. But it's easy enough to pop some ice out of an ice tray and say, there we go, the habit's gone. But as we all know, removing habits in the real world is way, way harder. So here's my practical, easy to implement tactic that will make this process way, way easier. It's called divide and delay. And for you to fully understand why this tactic works so well, we need to dive a bit deeper into the human brain. Daniel Kahneman wrote this amazing book called Thinking Fast and Slow, where he explains this entire concept. The brain works in 2 systems, System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 thinking is everything that happens automatically. Complete this phrase, breed and what's 2 plus 2? Look at this white dot. Now there's a good chance for either of those 3 examples, your brain reacted automatically. You didn't have to consciously solve 2 plus 2 or consciously move your eyes to the white dot. It just happened. This is your fast-paced System 1 thinking. System 2 thinking is when you engage in a complex problem and your thought process has to slow down. While System 2 thinking is highly diverse, it does have one common feature. It requires attention, and when attention is drawn away, it's disrupted. Here's an example. What's 14 times 76? Now here's what would have happened. Your thought process would have slowed down and you would have debated whether you actually wanted to solve the problem or just skip it. If you did decide to take on the challenge, then you would have debated whether to grab a pen or not, and you would have started combing your memory for old maths equations that you learned in school. Even bodily functions like your heart rate and blood pressure would have also elevated. This is important to understand because our System 1 automatic thinking is where a lot of our habits reside. We've been doing them for so long that there isn't even a thought process that goes along with it. We just do it. And this is where the tactic of divide and delay comes into play. If we continue to live in this automatic System 1 thinking, then we'll continue to wake up, hit the alarm clock, brush our teeth, go to work, come back, watch TV, go to bed, and the cycle will just continue. We need to give ourselves the space to consciously decide whether we want to take this action or not. So first, we need to divide, and that looks like creating distance between you and the trigger, removing the junk food from your kitchen, unplugging the TV, signing out of your Netflix account. This creates distance between you automatically doing the habit and gives you a second of delay to think to yourself, do I really want to do this? And that's the delay aspect. Just having that divide and that moment of delay can be all that's required for you to break out of bad habits and start rewiring your brain for success. We've now used divide and delay to pull ourselves away from bad habits and create some space. But without something new to fill the void, eventually another bad habit's just going to come creeping back in. Here's the thing, you'll never be able to completely clear out your ice tray entirely. There'll always be some baseline fundamental habits that you'll keep. Stuff like showering, brushing your teeth, eating after work. These are foundational to your identity, and it's these habits we can start branching off to build new actions. I want you to look at building new habits like leveling up in a video game. I'm a big gamer, and I know a lot of you watching right now are also pretty big gamers, so this is the best way to explain it. New positive habits vary in difficulty. If you've ever played RuneScape, you'll know how the leveling system works. You start at level 1 and it goes all the way up to 99, and the only way to level up that skill is doing the direct actions. If the skill we want to level up is habit building, then we have to start at level 1 with an easier habit. So that might be doing push-ups in the morning, which will eventually get you to level 10 where you unlock a run. That run might level you up to 20, which unlocks getting into the gym for a workout. Now that's just an example. I'm not going to give you the exact actions to do because that's on you to decide what aspects of life you want to improve. But I will say the best way to find these actions is decide on the type of person you wish to become and then think, what actions does he do? Start there. If you don't want to be unconfident or unassertive, then think, what does a confident person do? Break down his daily actions and make a start. I want to finish on a quote by Dan Coe. If you don't build a routine, you'll be assigned one. I know, especially around fitness, there's this common belief of, if I get into shape, then I've got to continue eating clean and exercising for the rest of my life. Or with productivity, like this habit stuff, there's this looming thought of, if I start doing good habits, then am I just doing habit after habit after habit forever? The goal with breaking and building new habits isn't just to maximize all the best habits that you've seen someone online tell you to do. It's about using your time intentionally. I don't think anyone's going to be lying on their deathbed saying, man, I'm glad I watched all that TV. But they're also not saying, I'm glad I worked every hour of my life. But I could imagine saying, I'm glad I spent time with the people I cared about and I worked on something that was fulfilling. That's how you win. Now I know I bagged on habit lists at the start of this video, but they can be important for giving you some inspiration and some ideas and just a good place to start. So down in the description, I give away 31 different life-changing habits. It's an entire month worth of advice you get from me. It's entirely free if you want to check that out. Otherwise, this video right here is the top 5 habits that I think are essential to build, and that's it. Thanks for watching, gents. See you later.